Okay, Jeet. This is mensuration, lecture number 2. What we need to understand is we did circular measures, that was part of circles. We made sure we understand area of minor sector, the arc length of minor major sector, area of minor major sector, and the segment of minor segment and the major segment. Now we are working on the 3D figure of circle. Now you need to understand that what you did about the circle was 2D figures, because you were finding out the area, your area and the circumference. So area of circle was pi r square, right? And the circumference was 2 pi r, right? But now you need to understand that when we are working for 3D figures, so that means from your circle, you have cylinder. That means from circle, there is another diagram which will be leading to cylinder. You'll be using what? Circle in it. Now, if we just draw up a cylinder diagram, so you need to understand the entire cylinder. What is it about? So this is your circle. Let's say this is your circle as well. And there's a line that joins up the two lines joining down the two circles. Now you can see that a cylinder is there, but what does this cylinder give me? This cylinder gives me, this is your circle, this is your circle top, this is your circle bottom, this is your height, right? This will be height, that means this will be your radius, right? This will be your height. So this particular line will also be your radius, because there are two circles and in height. If you look at this part is basically the curved surface area. That means the entire curved surface area, it has small circles, which obviously will make curved surface area. So particularly what we need to understand is that this is your circle, this is your circle, and the mid area is your curved surface area. Now, with response to this and the 3D figure, that means there is a possibility that in the 3D figure, the examiner will ask you to find out the volume. Now, volume, what does volume means? The capacity of filling in let's say liquid, right? Or anything, that how much does the container has the volume in it, or how much the cylinder has the volume in it, how much it can carry down. Like for suppose water tanks, they're part of what? They're part of the cylindrical shape. So it contains the water in it. So water volume, how much the volume does the water tank has? So there's a basic formula of volume. It is base area into height. Now this will be used in most or all the different shapes. Like we can use this in the circular prism, we can use this in the rectangular prism, we can also use it in the normal triangular prism, we can use it in anywhere. But for that, what you need to understand is that what volume is. Volume contains what? Base area into height. Volume contains what? Base area into height. Now looking at a cylindric cylinder, looking at the cylinder, what you need to understand that there is a circle, there is a circle as well, and there are two lines joining the circle. So your base is of circle, circle base. So your base area of the circle is what? Pi r square. Area of the circle is pi r square, and there would be height given. There would be height given. So that means volume of cylinder is, volume of cylinder becomes what? This becomes pi r square base area into height. That means pi r square h. Pi r square h. That means you don't need to learn the formula. It's just what? The basic concept that volume is base area into height. Your volume is what? Base area into height. And the base is of circle. So the area of the circle is pi r square. The area of the circle is pi r square. Whereas height is given now. So when the height is given and the base is of circle, so the area of the circle is pi r square and the height is given. And the height is given. The next particular thing that the examiner will ask you is curved surface area. What is the curved surface area? Now, curved surface area is, now these are the two lines. Let's say we have a circle and this is your circle as well, right? But in this circle, what you need to understand that there are basic circles as well that will be rotating the inner circle. That means there is the boundary of the circle in the curved surface area. So if you need to understand, that means in curved surface area, you do not need anything related to what? Anything related to the bottom and the top. The only thing that you will be relating yourself is the first circle that is in the boundary. The first circle that is in the boundary. And obviously, when we are talking about the boundary of the circle, so that means we are talking about the circumference. And the circumference formula is 2 pi r. The circumference formula is 2 pi r. So the formula will be 2 pi r multiplied by what? H. This will be 2 pi r multiplied by h. So working on it, what we understood was the volume. The volume was base area into height. So the base area itself is of the cylinder is of circle, which is pi r square, and the height is h. When we work about curved surface area, that is perimeter 2 pi r multiplied by h. So 2 pi r h is the curved surface area. But now what you need to understand is the total surface area. Now the question can be of total surface area of cylinder. Now, what you need to understand, is it a closed cylinder or open cylinder? At the moment, we are working on closed cylinder. We are working on closed cylinder. So what does closed cylinder mean? Closed cylinder means that you have a circle at the top, you have a circle at the bottom, and they are closed. And there is what? Curved surface area, which will be height. So this is your closed. This is your closed circle. This is your closed circle at the top. Obviously, there would be a pipe that will be given in this for pouring in something, or there will be other thing that you might be having the box, a container box, which can be open and which can be closed. So what you need to understand is total surface area of what? Total surface area of closed cylinder. Now, if it is closed, what you need to? Cylinder surface area, right? Surface area means area of all the shapes in the figure. Surface area means area of all the shapes in the figure. So how many total shapes do we have in the cylinder? This is your first circle. This is your circle. Then this is your second circle, right? And let's say this is the third shape, which is curved surface area. So how many total shapes do we have? Circle, curved surface area, and circle again. So if I want to take out the area of all this, so circle area is pi r square, curved surface area is 2 pi r h, and the circle area is pi r square. Circle area is, that means if I want to find out the total surface area, if I want to find out the total surface area, it should be two circles, right? So area of two circles, that means pi r square plus pi r square, which will be 2 pi r square. Pi r square plus pi r square will be 2 pi r square. And then we have what? 2 pi r h. So the closed surface area formula will be 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h. Closed surface area formula will be 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h. Similarly, if I say total surface area of cylinder, but now the question says it is open. Now the question says it is open. If it is open, so what do we have? We have circle at the base. Now this will be your cylinder. Now that means you do not have the top circle in this. That means this is not there. When this is not there, that means you need to understand that there is a circle that is given. Circle that is given in the bottom, and there is curved surface area to the top, because please note that there is liquid that can be filled in. So curved surface area means the boundary only, boundary of the cylinder. So that means curved surface area plus circle, curved surface area plus the circle. So if it is the curved surface area and if this is the circle, so the area of the curved surface area is 2 pi r h, and the area of the circle is pi r square. Area of the circle is pi r square. Now this is your open cylinder. So open cylinder area, the surface area will be, this will be pi r square for the circle at the bottom plus 2 pi r h for the curved surface area. Now, generally, the question is very straight when it comes about the cylinder. Let's just say that there is a circle given. It's a closed cylinder. A closed cylinder is drawn. Let's say the radius is 10 and the height can be here or it can be on the right hand side as well. So let's say the height is 20. So the radius is 10 and the height is 20. Now, if the question wants me to find out the volume, so volume formula becomes base area into height. So pi r square into h, which means pi r square h. So what is the r? 10 square, and h is 20. This will be pi 120. So this should be 2000 pi. This should be if you need to express this, you leave the answer as 2000 pi, or the answer will be 628 3.1, which means we can write this thing as 6280. This three significant answer will be 628 and 0. Now this is just the volume that we found out. This is just the volume that we found out. If you want to find out the curved surface area. If you want to find out the curved surface area. Now, generally the curved surface area is what? 2 pi r and h. Why? Obviously, the perimeter of the circle, which is circumference, and the height. And you already know that your r is what? 10, and the height is what? 20. So this should be 2 to the is what? 40. 20 into 2 is 40. And 40 into 10 will become what? 400 pi. 40 into 10 will become 400 pi. If you want to express this, we'll express this as 400 pi. But the answer can be 1256.6, which will be 1260. Three significant figure. It should be 1260. Now we already know that it is a closed cylinder. We already know it is a closed cylinder. So total surface area. Total surface area. So how do we find out total surface area? Knowing how many figures do we have? We know there is a circle at the bottom. We know there is a circle at the top. And there is a curved surface area. And there is a curved surface area. So what do? We make sure that the total surface area here will be 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h. So 2 pi 10 square plus 2 pi 10 into what? 20, which will be 2000. This will be 100. 100 into pi will become what? 100 pi. 100 pi into 2 will become what? This should be what? 200 pi. So this becomes 200 pi plus, obviously this would be 40, 400 pi. So total will be what? 600 pi. Total will be what? 600 pi. If we need to express, we'll express it as what? 600 pi. But the answer for this will be 1884.9. So this can be also written as 1880. 188. No, we'll correct this thing down. This should be 1890. Why? Because this 9 will change this 4 to 5. This 9 will change this 4 to 5. We'll donate obviously 1 in it. And then 5 will change what? 8 to 9. So this should be 1890 as three significant figures. But this was for what? This was for closed cylinder. This was for what? Closed cylinder. If I say we have open cylinder surface area. So the open cylinder surface area will be, that means there is one particular circle that is not at the top. So the area of the figures would be, there would be a circle at the bottom and there would be what? Curved surface area. There would be a circle at the bottom and the curved surface area. So circle at the bottom, pi r square plus what? 2 pi r h. So pi 10 square plus 2 pi 10 and 20, which means there should be 100 pi plus 400 pi. So the answer would be what? 500 pi. If you want to express this, we'll express this as what? 500 pi. Or the answer for this will be 1570.7. So this should be 1570 if we want to write it down in three significant figure. So this is all about what? Cylinder. When we are talking about cylinder in mensuration, remember cylinder is a 3D figure coming from the family member of what? Circle, knowing that the circle area is pi r square and the circumference is 2 pi r h.